Hi, everybody. So, I want to talk about our February 2023 quilt block and a technique that we are going to start using in our projects, and that is creating stitch points in our blocks so we can customize our designs. We can add to them effects maybe that we want. Say, if you wanted to add uh, something in a banner, or you wanted to add grass underneath the feet of a horse, or something to that effect. So creating stitch points is something that when you want to create something totally unique you can use, or sometimes you will run a design through the auto digitizer, and when it comes through you look at it and you think, well, that is not going to work, or you stitch it and you decide that, wow, this just totally doesn't look the way I want it to. So I'm going to kind of work backwards here. I want to show you the advanced portion of what drawing these stitch points can do, and then we'll cover real quickly what we're going to do for our folded fabric in the February 2023 quilt block. So I'm going to go ahead, and I know that this is a piece that I did not digitize well, so it is something that I will do myself. And this is a drawing. This is how I do a lot of the drawings that a friend of mine does, and we collaborate on a project. He sends me the drawing, and then I turn it into a digitized product. Now, for me, I'm going to be very honest. I really am lousy at doing this with the mouse and going from point to point, especially when it comes to items that have a lot of curves, or if I have a very detailed area. So I apologize for the camera move here. I use a draw tablet, which works very similar to a pen and pencil, if you will. Sorry, now I have to reset the camera. Oh, now you can't see. Oh, am I gonna have to? Okay, now you can see me again. So anyway, I use a draw tablet, and with my draw tablet, I'm able to do those little areas, like I said, especially with a very detailed piece. So when you get into the point where you start doing these and you're digitizing it by hand instead of using the auto digitizer, you need to practice with your mouse, or find a way that works for you. So I apologize, you're going to see the top of my head here for a second. But what I would do to turn this into stitches would be that I would come up here to artwork, and I would select it, and then you can see that I have my little crosshairs, and I would start with a point and move around the design. And when you work on a design such as this, one of the things that you have to do is kind of plan how your machine is going to move from one section to the other. And sometimes that takes a little bit of practice, because you're not, you don't necessarily know. But you can see that I've gone all the way around the top part of this machine. And because I want this to be one section, I would come down here and I would close that off. And now you notice that everything that I just drew is over here in the sequence view, and I have created a piece of artwork. And just like we do in multiple other projects, we would take this artwork and turn it into a run or a fill, or add stippling, or make it an applique, whatever it was that we wanted to do for this particular piece. So I'm hoping that you can kind of see that this is the goal that we're working towards, is to be able to take a drawing, create the stitches, and make a file out of it. Now, For the February portion of our project, we are not going to need to be that detailed. What we're going to do is actually going to be a whole lot simpler. But I want you to practice this a little bit because this is something that will be important as you put your folded fabric around the edge. So the first thing that I want you to practice is just a straight line. And so click on your artwork tool, line your crosshairs up, right click on your starts of your stitch, bring your line down a little bit, line this up, click on where you want your bottom of your stitch to be, click select, and now you have your artwork piece, and you will turn this into a run. The one thing I want you to notice though is that when I did this, it looked like I was pretty straight, but if you get right in here, you can see that that line isn't straight. Now this is something that I can come in, and this is where you're going to learn to use your adjust tools. And I'm a little bit closer, but I'm not there yet. And you can see that I'm slowly getting straighter. So that's something I want you to practice. If you're off just a little bit when you create your block, it's not going to be a big deal. But if you're off, you know, about 1/8 of an inch, when you stitch your block, you will notice that that's going to be noticeable on your folded fabric. So the other line that I want you to practice is, again, find your artwork tool. I want you to practice a start point of about 1/2 inch. Now remember, each one of your small squares is 1/4 inch. So your start point would be at your 1/2 inch mark. Your second point is going to be at the corner of your block. You're going to bring that line down to the bottom corner of your block, and then you're going to bring it in. So now you've created a U-shape design, which is another portion of doing this folded fabric. And again, you'll see that this is artwork, and we will turn it into a run. So the drawing portion of what this month's project is going to be important to put your folded fabric down and secure it to your block. But as I said, I worked a little backwards because I want you to see that this is a step in towards doing your own digitizing, creating your own files, adding elements that you want to add. So hopefully you'll take some time, you'll practice that, and then by the time you're ready to put your block together, you'll be really comfortable with doing it. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks.